What's up, everyone? This is Kirito HD Gaming slash Kirito HD Gaming 2.0. As I am progressing to a new channel, but I'm also gonna be using my old channel. The reason why is because I'm just wanting to start fresh, but I'm still gonna be on my old channel. It's just I started fresh with the email and all this other stuff. But off the top of that, today's video will be about my opinion on everything going on in the First Descendant. And I will say right now, this game looks so beautiful in fidelity mode. I'm gonna actually probably play it in a few times because of how beautiful it looks. But basically this is not gonna be a review video. I've done one of those already. Um, the review video I did based off my beliefs and how I felt about the game. I guess you can say this is gonna be slightly like a review video, but it's gonna be more on the topic of everything currently going on and what I think needs to happen for this game to be successful in the future. And it's gonna be a very hot topic in my opinion going forward because it's obviously been apparently proven that there's a hardcore fan base that plays this game on a daily or close to a daily. And then this game picks up a whole bunch of players throughout the seasons and when title updates come out. And you see a big player jump in and well, one thing I've noticed about all the major title updates they have, especially in season 2, is the servers have not been the best lately. And not only that, but on PlayStation 5, we also had an issue where the game just kept crashing. Thankfully for me, I didn't have to deal with that. But there's a lot of people out there that had to deal with it, and hopefully it's been fixed. I know there's been patches put out and everything to fix it, but hopefully people are not having that problem still. But I noticed one thing playing with the new Descendant. While playing content, even though I'm playing in performance and not even in fidelity, because I don't even know if this game would be able to handle the combat situations I've been put in on fidelity. Maybe normal missions, yes, but the the void erosion, the 400%, yeah, it's not gonna last, in my opinion. Maybe as a solo player it might, but even on performance, I've been having issues even as a solo player on the Void Erosion Purge. As you can see, I have done 9 of them. Well, I'm going to be doing my ninth. But they're well, I don't know what the plans are up at the First Descendant in their devs. I don't know what their plans going forward, but with everything that has been said basically and how they've expressed themselves, it seems like going forward they want to make everybody more powerful as in Freyna and the new descendant. I'm not gonna try to say her name because I always find a way to mess it up. I'll get her name down at some point, but I've noticed one problem with that. Freyna and the new descendant, you have two problems. If you make every other descendant almost as powerful as them or anywhere near it, how would that affect the servers? Well, the hot topic is, will they nerf anybody? Well, no one wants anything nerfed. And since no one wants anything nerfed, they have to think of other things. And this is when I come in and I say, maybe they need to stop listening to the community for like one season and fix everything the way they think that it needs to be fixed, or tell the community like we're listening to you, but to maintain service, not service, server stability, that we're gonna have to downgrade some things. And I think it's about time that we see some not nerfs directly in my opinion, but changes to how skills work. Because I noticed with a lot of the Descendants coming out now, we don't even use guns anymore. I remember when this game first came out, I used my guns majority of the time. And then when I got into hard mode and I started catalyzing and this and that, I found that Bunny was the only one that just used my skill and not my gun really. While everyone else, I still found a way to use my gun at some point. Well, the recent um, buff to Viesa, um, or Viesa, the recent the buff to her, it made her OP. Like, I never use my gun with her now. Because it's like the new Descendant. I just spam my abilities. And spamming abilities that do high damage and also high tick damage, and a lot of enemies spawning in slash dying at the same time, causes a bunch of server issues here and there. And I have had that issue quite a bit lately. Now, either the servers can be worked on and fixed, or they might have to low key, I wouldn't say nerf, but change on how some of the abilities work. Like, for instance, the new Descendant, the more range you put on her, the stronger her skills are, because it will bounce around more. Like right now, I think with my build that I'm using, whoopsie, I think with the build I'm using currently, with just the expansion of just this range, and then with the skill effective range over here, it's bouncing what, about I think 5 times if I'm correct. I would have to go in and actually test it. I don't know how many times it bounces. Max bounce, the floating lightning max bounces is 4. Okay, never mind, it's 4. Now I guess you can't change that. But see, like, I mean, the range, it has a like a higher range, and the fact that I can spam, it just gets chaotic. And I think going forward, it's just gonna get more and more chaotic. And I mean, I love the game. I'm all for everything they do, but at a certain point, they got to realize that apparently the game, I don't know what it is. On PS5, when the game was in beta, I heard on the PS5 it was optimized perfectly well apparently. I didn't personally play it on the beta, but I knew people that did, and they were on PS5, and they were like, yeah, the optimizing of the game from the beta to actual live build has changed, as in the PlayStation is very plays very poorly at states. Now obviously it's not 100% like that, but no, at times the PS5 is in a bad state. Like, for instance, there's times where the PS4 version plays better than the PS5 version. But off the just not the PS5 alone, but like, for instance, even on the PS5 Pro that I have, I even experienced crashing issues and other issues. Now, are those like server issues, or are they like maybe just something just happened at that point in the game and it causes a crash? Who knows? All I know is the server issues lately is not just by the fact that there's more people playing, but it's also the fact that the descendants that are coming out lately are very powerful, and they're just getting more powerful, and they're buffing it constantly, the descendants. And at some point you gotta think, does they need to like rework Descendants so they're not as powerful to the point where it causes major frame drops and other issues and crashes? Like, I'm not joking. At one point while I was doing the erosion purge, um, the purge erosion, um, I mean, there was one point where when I was doing this, I was going in and a bunch of enemies spawned in. I was killing them all off, and then another wave spawned in, and it was just back and forth like that. And out of nowhere, my game froze for like 20 seconds, 15 seconds, and then started playing up again. And I was like, yeah, that was because I was doing so much damage at once. And so many enemies were spawning in, but also dying at the same time. And that's not a good sign because it can cause problems. And I noticed another thing, that if they're going to not nerf anybody, what they should do is give what is it called? Give the enemies a spawn protection of like 1.5 seconds or 1 second. Meaning when they spawn in, you can't just instantly kill them so it doesn't cause issues. Or in general, they could just keep working on the servers and optimizing the game constantly and this and that. And then at some point, maybe it will fix, like it become fixed for good. Who knows? I just think at some point things are gonna have to change. And I'm gonna be honest, Bunny I don't think needs to be nerfed. I think Bunny should always be the character that is for farming. Now if I would change something with Bunny, I would think it would be her range. So I think her max range is what, 27 meters, I think? I can't remember or not if it is. Now most people probably don't even get the max range even that high. So in theory, you don't really have to worry about it. But there are some people that do take an effect of actually taking advantage of all of that, and well, they wipe enemies out literally before they even get to spawn in, and they're all the way around a corner or something. And I think maybe Bunny's max range should be 20 meters instead of 27. Now, yes, that's a nerf, but 20 meters is still quite a big, it's still pretty big. And then Freyna, on the other hand, I'm sorry, but for all the Freyna lovers out there, she needs to be nerfed. Either Contagion needs to be nerfed, or she needs to be nerfed in general. Because she was pretty decent before she got the buff. And she will always be pretty decent if you build her correctly. Contagion Contagion literally just destroys the frames of the game and stuff because it just keeps on hopping around, and you don't ever have to really throw another thing down. If you throw it down at the right area, it's just gonna keep bouncing around until all the enemies are dead as they're even spawning in. And I feel like the fact that her nickname now is AFK something, like people call her the AFK some, I don't know the whole name, but like a lot of people literally just see Freyna's hit the ability once and just sit there. Don't move, don't do nothing. And I mean, I love how powerful she is, but at one point in time the devs did say they don't want people AFKing. Just hitting a single button once, killing all the enemies, and then moving to the next arena area and doing the same process. It's not considered AFK, that's true, but it's literally close enough. And I'm not saying, oh, it's a bad thing or not. No, I don't care about that. I'm just saying the fact that you only have to hit the button once in one arena area and it kills everybody in its path is crazy. I'm starting to feel like they need to upgrade the difficulty on the elite yellow bar enemies. And what I mean is all the enemies in this game are really weak. The fact that it took me a couple of tries to finally found out a pattern against the Defiler, and now I literally beat him almost every try. The only time I ever lose is if I get hit by his, if I can't dodge his special poison power, I call it, where it starts, it does a little debuff on you, and basically what it does is it takes away, I think it's like 3 times that it hits you for, where it takes about 12 to 1400 HP from me. There's also another debuff that's quicker that adds up quick too. That takes away a couple hundred HP pretty quickly, but it only does it once per obviously per tick for the stack. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like enemies in this game are weak. They even made majority, no, not majority. They made every single colossal fight but one solo play, and currently I can beat every single boss solo in the first phase besides gluttony and besides um Molten Fortress. So Molten Fortress, I don't think I'm ever gonna one phase him with Viessa. Maybe I can one phase him with Haley, but with Viessa, I have not been able to one phase him. He gets down to a quarter HP left, basically, and then I'll have to go do the pillars. And they made the pillars on that now so easy. And then the things that he shoot up in the air that can destroy the pillars, they don't even do that much damage now. To where you have to start all over. It's weird. And Gluttony, the reason why I haven't actually been able to tell anyone if I can beat it in the first phase or not is because I've only tried it twice. Because I don't need to fight Gluttony anymore. I got the Peacemaker? Is it called Peacemaker or Peace? Yeah, Peacemaker. I already got maxed out. There's literally no point of me fighting with it. I mean, fighting Gluttony. There's nothing on Gluttony, like for instance, go to here. These are all the ones I don't own. Thing right here. Dead Bride, Deathstalker, Ultra Fortress, and then combining, and then the Heart of the Fortress or the Quarantine Zone when it's on the invasion. That's it. That's all I got left for that. I mean, if you wanted to get into external components, if I'm correct, no, that's Frostwalker. That's not. I think this one is Gluttony. Toxic resistance 2.8%. When I don't see myself ever using that ever. So it's like I have no reason to fight Gluttony anymore. I really don't. If I ever want to test out a powerful build, Gluttony is one of the good options to do because I said she, Gluttony is one of the colossi that I can literally go in and test my build's power and see how far I can get before Gluttony decides to get into the immunity phase, unless I just be able to wipe her. But I mean, in general, I I don't know what really to say about the game state. I love the game. I really love it to the point where I play this game nonstop. Now, weirdly, I took a break for about a month and a half to play Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and I don't know why, but I had friends that passed me in hours that were like 300, 400 hours behind me. They played the game more than me, And this is why the game's gotten easier, because the friends that I have that have like 300 more hours played than me now, they still don't got everything unlocked in the game. They still got most of their descendants that are not even maxed out yet. I mean, that's the same case for me almost, but at least all my ultimate descendants are full builded. Like, for instance, so I know what I'm talking about. Look,
Inez Rhea, Hound Unit. Commencing
Inez,
operation.
Inez Rhea. I have her maxed out now. I have,
What
if
do
I
you
had,
get when you mix water
the hell?
and what?
Okay,
Inez Rhea, Hound Unit.
Inez,
Commencing operation.
oh, okay. I have Viesa, or Viesa, maxed out. I have Ultimate Bunny maxed out. I have Ultimate Value maxed out, but I do want to put some more catalysts in her to make it to where I can do either crit or non-crit. I have Ultimate Freyna maxed out basically. I don't even need to change Ultimate Freyna, but maybe one or two more catalysts if I want to make a
Inez Rhea,
bossing build.
Hound Unit. Commencing operation.
I have Ultimate Sharon halfway done. I have Haley a little bit more than halfway. Glay, I have a little bit more than halfway done. Lepic I'm almost done with. Ultimate Ajax is the only one I haven't really touched. And then if you get into all the normal descendants, I started messing with Eugen. I messed with Keelan a little bit. And then everyone else I'm not really touching
Inez Rhea,
because
Hound Unit.
hopefully
Commencing operation.
Blair and Enzo are the next ultimates. So I don't have to I don't want to mess with them really. I know Esmos and Kyle are not, and Jaber should not be next. I have a feeling it's either Eugen. I feel like Blair's the next ultimate descendant, and then I feel like after that it would be Eugen or Enzo. It might be Blair and then Enzo and then one of those other two. But I mean, for me in general, I don't want them to nerf anything. But if the servers continue to have these issues every time they have big content come out, well, they're gonna have to think about something to fix it. Obviously, it's not just on the descendants being powerful and stuff. Obviously, that's not the case. It's obviously new content they implement and all these other stuff they implement, and you know, there's always a possibility of a bug or some type of problems. But I will say this: a lot of it has to do with the descendants being powerful, with the servers maintaining stability, basically. Because I can literally go play. A matter of fact, I will probably stream tomorrow or the next day for a whole like long period of time. Um, actually it's after midnight, so I'll probably try to do it later today or tomorrow. I'm probably gonna stream today, but I don't know if it's gonna be long. But like tomorrow or something, if I don't do it today, I will stream a long period of time, and I will be sure to upload some videos of some of the issues of if it actually gets put through. Obviously, I don't know if it will or not, but I'll show you the issues I have sometimes, hopefully, in the erosion, purge, and all these other areas where I have like these like very like I'll skip I wouldn't say skip around, but it freeze for a couple seconds and unfreeze and stuff like that. Now it's rare still, but it still happens, and it gets bad sometimes. But a lot of people say this game will die if they nerfed Descendants, but the thing I say is, like I said, you don't need to nerf any Descendant. You can work around with their abilities and not technically nerf them. Like dropping a skill range on a Descendant isn't really a nerf in my opinion. That is fixing the ability to make a change so the Descendant's not a powerhouse against enemies that are just spawning in around a corner that you don't even see yet. Now, they don't need to do that. Like I said, my whole belief now is going to be they should, and I hope they do, is they make content harder again. When content when hard difficulty first approached, the content wasn't really hard. It's relatively easy still. But the problem is they've made things even easier. For instance, when the Haley farm first happened, everyone jumped on a train that hated it. And guess what? I earned Haley the hard way. I earned her during that hard time period. Yeah, was it grindy? Yes. But unlike most people, I'm not gonna grind the same thing and then complain about it. Like for instance, today I was on the X and I was reading into the patch that they're gonna have come out, and well, people in the comments were like, "You made this." Someone was in the comments was like, "You guys make this game unbearable to play. It hurts this or that or whatever," and it's because they ran the defiler 150 times in one sitting. Say if you don't beat the boss in 30 seconds or to a minute. Say it took you 3 minutes to beat the boss. Like that's about what average is for me. Is 2 to 3 minutes. Um, because I'm not fully hang of everything yet. Once I get to all that, I will be. But let's say 150 tries times 2 minutes, right? That's 300. That's 300 minutes, right? Divide that by 60. That is 5 hours straight of one single content. Well, who put you through that pain? Did Nexon, the developers of the First Descendant, put you? Did they put you through this pain? No, you chose to do this. Just like when they gave Bunny out for free for signing in for 14 days during the Christmas event, there were people asking for refunds because they bought the $100 bundle of Bunny. Why are they asking for a refund for the $100 bundle for Bunny? You choose to buy that bundle. You didn't choose to earn her legitly. Guess what? When Valby's ultimate came out, I earned her ultimate. And then I turned around and bought her bundle. And I only spent 30 bucks instead of the 100. Cuz I didn't buy the $50 bundle. Cuz basically there's a $100 bundle and a $50 bundle, as you can see. I'll show you real quick. You go Ultimate Descendants, for instance. Right here is 3166. This is basically the equivalent to 3160 is equivalent to basically 50 bucks if you think about it. You buy this and then you buy this and you should know. You just buy this one, which is 70. In theory, you buy this one at 70, right? Or you could just buy like, and that's because it comes with all this. Well, for instance, the Valby one, I can't even show you because I already own it. But like for instance, like if I want to get these suits now, the old school ones, they're only 1,000. They're only 1,050 for the skin. And that is due to the fact that I'm not buying a bundle with all this. For instance, the Descendant slot is okay, but I already have 21 Descendant slots. And they're cheap to buy, and every now and then they come in the ETA, and I just get one in the ETA. But look, I don't need the energy activator. I don't need the crystal. Don't need those two. And if I want to get these abilities right here, this spawn and then the backpack, if I ever want to get them, I'll just come over here and buy them for 500, which is literally the equivalent of $10, right? And it gives me the opportunity to choose what I want to get. Which I'm kind of, this is one thing that made me happy when they separated things like this. Because honestly, there's not really anything I want to get. Like, I wouldn't mind the hooded bunny. I wouldn't mind the red wings. But I'm not so much on that. This one I would love to get. I wouldn't mind getting this one. I wouldn't mind getting the hooded bunny. I wouldn't mind getting this one. Well, never mind. Maybe not. This one, no. Like, I wouldn't mind getting some of these. Like, I wouldn't. Like, just for now, the spawns, I wouldn't mind buying all the spawns. I love the spawns. I wouldn't mind the calling. I wouldn't mind the blood feast. I wouldn't mind the charm. You know, I wouldn't mind some of these. But like, you don't need to go out and buy stuff. You can earn it, and that's the problem. People come up with this ideology like, I don't have any content anymore. I don't have nothing to do. I got everything. Well, that's because a lot of people bought crap in this game instead of playing the free part and buying cosmetics. This game right here, there are only two things you should be buying is cosmetics and buying the battle pass. Those are the only two things I recommend people buying. If you go out of your way and down here, if you buy these, that's on you. That's on you. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a good deal. You get 5, you get 200, 2,000, you get a Descendant slot. I mean, it's a good deal. I wouldn't mind buying these. I really wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't mind buying stuff like these. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't mind buying stuff like these, but I don't need to. I bought some of these in the past, but now they make these so easy to get now because of all the events that come out. And then you can go down here and literally buy these. Literally, this right here is less than $10. This is literally, you buy the $10 one and you can get this twice. Because the $10 one, actually no, I'll take that back. The $10 one gives you 520. My bad. If you buy the $10 one and then the $5 one, which is $15, you can in theory buy 5, 6, 7, 700 and 50, 70, 770 for those. Yeah, you'd be able to buy two. For $15, you'd be able to buy two of those things. But you don't need it. You don't need to spend stuff on these. You don't. But people actually do. And then people are hoping they add other things to this list. Like, I kid you not, I was reading something on YouTube earlier when I was watching a video, and somebody wants them to add the new weapon core stuff into the shop to buy. I was like, you're out of your damn mind. Like, the game's not pay to win just because there's no multiplayer aspect. But I will say this. The game's not pay to win, but it is pay to literally fast track yourself to the point where you're going to get bored. Just going to point that out right now. But hey, that's everyone else's, I guess, opinion on the subject. But no, my big thing that I wanted to come in and say about this video is, I don't think they need to nerf any Descendant, but I did tell you my 2 cents. If they can maybe adjust some ranges, or maybe the skill power is not the issue. I think it's the fact that the wide range of a lot of these abilities is what can cause issues. I mean, I've even seen Bunny um, have when I've played with Bunny, I've even had frame droppage because of wiping so many at once. Now, I've only had that once or twice with Bunny compared to like Freyna and the new Descendant. I've had it happen a lot more than that. But other than that, I don't think they need to nerf anybody. I do think they need to make enemies stronger, and when I mean stronger, I mean, like, for instance, the void erosion, right? Wave 8 is 194 to 198 Vulgus level. The enemies are still dying quickly when they're 100 more levels higher than mine. And that's because at the end of the day, your level does not mean crap. Because it only means something with your weapons, with your external components, with your reactor. Other than that, here, this has nothing to do with your level. Like, for instance, nothing. And then if you think about this, look at this. I'm at 46.155 skill hit rate with her, with the 4.615 skill critical hit damage. If I wanted to make one of the best mobbing builds out there, and I wanted to say forget about the tech skill power or skill effective range or skill cooldown, whatever the cases are, if I wanted to forget about that and I wanted to go gold crit rate and gold hit damage on her, I I will say this: if I get a gold rated critical hit rate, this will go above 50, guaranteed probably. Now this, on the other hand, would also go to the 5 times probably, and that's gonna be really powerful. But then I would also lose the fact that I won't get the tech skill power boost anymore. But I mean, I already get tech skill power no matter what. I just get extra with the 0.082 times. But like on that subject, I mean, they're adding content that's gonna be, I wouldn't say grindy, because it obviously is grindy. It's more that they're adding stuff to the game now that's gonna make the end game longer for you. And it's starting to get to that phase where finally we're in the end game. We got things that we can do. But the bad part is it's not that it's repetitive, because it is in a way. It's more the fact that they're tying it behind certain things. Like right now, there's like to make the cores for your weapons, you have to do the Defiler or the 400% dungeons. Well, no offense, but why is it that they took away? They should have kept the other boss and then brought in the Defiler. They shouldn't have taken the other boss out and then replaced it with this. My opinion is they should have kept both. That's just my belief. I mean, at the end, I don't really care, but. And another thing that they need to do with this game is they need to add more maps. Like, they need to add another map with a whole bunch of new missions and new stuff. And which I do like, because they did add the Void Abyss, obviously, which is new, but they don't keep the same boss. They switch out the bosses. The Void Erosion Purge, though, that's new and it's on the map. But now they need to add a map like this, like a map like one of these, and they need to add story content. That's what they need to add, is the story. Because the story, once you complete normal difficulty in the story, there really is no point of playing the game when it comes to like besides the end game, and that's max out your characters, your weapons, and max out the void erosion purge, kill all the bosses, get some cosmetic items by killing the void intercept battle abyss. Yeah, stuff like that. But other than that, and then max out your modules, get all the modules that you don't have yet. Maybe if you want to farm, you can go out of your way and get reactors that you want, get the external components you want, the best rolls and stuff. You can go out and do all that. But there's no extra story content. And every time they add everything to a new season, it's like the only thing they add that's story wise is the story for the Descendants. They don't add another like story that goes based off what we already did. Like, yeah, obviously it slightly is, because If you go over here, they did add this, the Void Vessel Operations Terminal, which added to the story. That's true. The downside is it didn't add much to the story. It added the story for two descendants to join us and everything. You know, it added the story for that. But I think they need to add story to where we get another map, and then after another map, you know, you get some obviously missions and on the, everything on that map. You know, you'll get two more dungeons because each map has two dungeons. You get all those, right? Um, and then while having all that, you get story content, you know, more, and then they could add a intercept battle after doing all that mappage, add a boss that's part of that intercept battle. Because right now, every time they add a new intercept battle, which they haven't added one since Deathstalker because the Abyss is different. But for hard difficulty, they haven't added one since Deathstalker. And well, after Motion Fortress, literally Gluttony and Deathstalker was just added. You didn't have to do anything besides completing Motion Fortress or completing any of the other ones before you can do Gluttony, and then you had to complete Gluttony to do the Deathstalker. But other than that, they didn't make it to where you had to get one of these things done to fight them. I just feel like they need to like not redo. I mean, more. I mean, add new stuff, um, that extends the normal story. Like I said, if they were to add like an expansion and they were to add like two or three of these maps with a bunch of missions and stuff, I wouldn't mind dishing out money for it. Now, that probably won't happen because it is a free to play game, and the whole ideology of a free to play game is you don't pay for nothing, not even content. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind if they were to do something like that because, you know, obviously creating new maps and stuff would take so much time and effort from the dev team that they might not be able to give you a ultimate descendant and two descendants in one season. Because this season we have two new descendants with a ultimate descendant. And going forward, I'm assuming that's maybe how it's gonna be. Who knows? I can't really say much because we're not even at season 3 yet. But I know there's a lot of good stuff coming to this game, and this game is going to be a good game. I'm just saying things that they could do. Um, but it won't hurt my feelings if they don't add to it. It won't. As long as they keep adding content to this game so it doesn't get too boring. But so this video doesn't go longer than 45 minutes. This is what my belief is. I hope everyone enjoys themselves, and that's about it. Um, please like and subscribe, and have a nice evening or morning wherever you guys are. And if you guys can, if you're like to my regular YouTube channel and or subscribed, can you please subscribe to my new YouTube channel and also my Twitch? Thank you, and I will be streaming tomorrow, and I will start trying to do my build videos. I have not done build videos yet due to the fact that I'm trying to be unique, and I actually have been using the lab lately, and I'm trying to get the best module combines of the power increases that you can get, on which one's the best to combine with each other to get the best power out of your build. And then once I get everything done, I will start posting build videos. And yes, they're probably gonna look similar to a lot of people out there, but um, it's kind of hard to be too unique because there's not a bunch of actual, you know, there's not a bunch of modules you can use on builds that aren't going to be similar to other people. But yeah, peace. This is your boy Kirito HD Gaming signing off. Dang, I tried to say that too quick and I messed it up. But see you guys later. Have a great night or morning.